With 71% of the precincts having reported, Pete Buttigieg takes the lead in the polls, with Bernie Sanders coming in a close second. Now, the biggest setback was the former Vice President Joe Biden coming in fourth place behind Elizabeth Warren. David Bloom of HSBC and Tina Fordham of Avonhurst are still with us. So, Tina, first, do we trust these numbers?
Well, trust the numbers. I think they just mean less than they used to, right? Iowa has always held such a special position as the leading indicator in the whole, very arcane U.S. caucus system. I think that the Buttigieg result is super interesting. It's very encouraging for his campaign, but we shouldn't overinterpret what that means.
Okay, but what does it mean for where the Democratic race? Why is it different today? Is it because of the botched results, or is it just because it's a much bigger Democratic field, difficult to know what will happen from February to November 3rd?
The field is as spread out as it was before. The favorite, Joe Biden, has ended up, much weaker than was expected. He could still make that up, but I think that we are really seeing a demonstration of what's at the heart of what's going on in the Democratic Party, and that is a very fragmented party, whereby Bernie Sanders supporters have been clear that they won't support another Democrat, and so it means we're not going to have clarity on the nominee anytime soon.
Tina, I don't hate to go all Hubert Humphrey on you, but I am. We had an era of stability with the Clinton, then the Obama, call it hegemony, whatever you want to call it. Before that was the chaos we're seeing now. What's different in the Democratic Party chaos now versus what HHH lived a million years ago?
It's on steroids with technology, Tom. We have an electoral malfunction with these apps. Who needs Russians and external interference when the leadership and the actual machinery of democracy falls down? David and I were just talking about hanging chads, which some of us are old enough to remember. Those little bits of paper. It's going to be, I think, a year of real gyrations between all of the things that can go wrong.
Tina, let's play I'm the client of Avonhurst. Okay, you walk in the door and I'm saying to you, what happens in August? What happens at these conventions, both the certitude of President Trump's certain Republican convention and the perceived chaos of a new Democratic Party process? How do you perceive those conventions?
The thing that I've been talking about since last year, in fact, is about institutions and democratic legitimacy. And I think that this is true not only for Democrats and what happens next with the nomination process, but also with the shape of Trump's victory. If it happens that there's a bigger gap between the Electoral College result and the national vote. We're looking at real questions about the legitimacy of this result. What are we looking for? Could we have a contested convention? What does that even mean? Could there be a surprise? Markets, and someone in David's position, are going to have a very hard time gaming out and looking for clear signals in this race, because we have a ton of front runners. We have many things that can still go wrong. A contested convention would mean that somebody like Bloomberg could end up, to the delight of many of our colleagues on Wall Street, doing much better than expected. A lot of wild cards. So don't bet on a binary outcome just yet.